And something very important which I was just reading, and something that is there is radon. I'm sure all of us have heard of radon, and I realized that radon is the second most common cause of cancer.
That is what we call it as also called the terrestrial radiation actually. Wherever you are having an open ground, that is where the radiation comes out. A lot of times we expose ourselves lying down or closed spaces which is not having too much of ventilation. There is a lot of radon which is coming from the underground radiation. There are a lot of states which has ground radiation. It is almost equivalent to the radiation when you are flying. That is also important. So there are a lot of reasons. You may not be a smoker, you may not have habits, but still lung cancer is rising in such people. Yes.
So it's actually it is an inert ion actually which is there, which can have some amount of radiation which can cause cancer. So when you actually go deep into it, which is the biggest source of radon in our country? Water, groundwater. Now you start thinking that groundwater, borewell ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದರಿಂದ ನೀರು ಬಂದರೆ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ರ್ಯಾಡಾನ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ರ್ಯಾಡಾನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ basically ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? And I was trying to look at for solutions. Simple. You leave the water out and make it stationary, which comes out, the groundwater which comes out, keep it in the tank for around 24 hours, and 99.9% of the radon evaporates. Now this is the beauty of it. So therefore, people who use a groundwater source ensure that the water is stored, even if like the water comes into your tank, because you can't channelize when it gets into the sump and then gets into the overhead tank. Ensure that before consuming it, ensure that you take the water out and store it into a tank or something else, so that the water that you consume, that you wash your vegetables with, is actually stored for 24 hours rather than being used directly from the underground source. So this is something that you can look at.
Radon is a gas.
Correct.
Okay. So the more and more it is ventilated, the gas will disappear. That's the concept. So the more and more terrestrial radiation, it irradiates both the water as well as the ground radiation. If your room is not properly ventilated, radon gets accumulated, especially when the ground is open. Like people have that natural ground flooring and everything, that might emit. Probably the water gets contaminated. Everywhere you are having a closed water storages. So that is what he says. You just ventilate, keep it as open as possible. So you're going to leak it out.
Now talking about ventilation, Dr. Mathangi has ventilated her thoughts to us regarding how cancer is spread and what can cause. I'm very, very thankful to you. I guess this will be the message that we shall actually give our viewers.
So that brings me to an attention. Like whenever you're thinking about your lung awareness, what we think is take a deep breath and leave it. Or if you are able to climb 2 stairs continuously without even sweating or breathing difficulty, then your lungs are healthy.
So Dr. Mathangi, I'm sure
just take a deep breath and leave a breath.
With this, I'm sure you've taken many of our viewers' breath away. So therefore, with this, we leave you, dear viewers. Thank you so much.
You've taken my breath away now.
You can take my breath away. You can do it like Celine Dion. And well, anyway, thank you. We'll come back with the next set of educational videos with you. Thank you. Jai Hind. Namaste.